Do you have to play with people at a play party? This is Reid from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy from intimacydojo.com. Why would you go to a play party if you weren't going to play with people? That'd be like going to a soccer game and not kicking the ball.
Well, if I go to...
Ouch.
That was bad.
We don't promise good humor here. It's never a promise.
No, we can pretty much promise bad humor.
Okay, so playing with people at play parties.
There are some play parties where people are kind of expected to play. I don't tend to go to those. Those are not fun for me. Most play parties, you are not required to play with anyone ever. Mm-hmm. And in fact, any ones that are run like Reid runs his, where voyeurism is participation, you can just watch. And the whole night, you don't have to do anything. So, and you never have to play with any particular person ever. Mm-hmm. So, have you had that? I know that some of the parties I've thrown have had a couple people that were disappointed that people weren't playing with them.
Well, yeah, I mean, people get disappointed all the time. Like, I get disappointed at play parties. People think I'm like, the play party god or something weird. But again, like, you're not. It's all about being human, and then the better or the more adept you are at understanding all the social weirdness and nuances and cultural bullshit that is just in the world, and that it is all like it's on steroids at an orgy, then it's like a superpower where you're like, oh wow, like everyone in this room is a human being who's either having a good day, a bad day, or a mediocre day. And their days can shift at any time because we're human. Mm-hmm. And then, for some people, when you do the math, you're like, oh my God, like these rooms are not safe because I can't guarantee my safety or somebody else's safety, right? Like, for somebody who actually does the math and realizes how dangerous being behind the wheel of a car or in a car on a highway is, with today's technology and so many people texting and being distracted while they're driving, if you actually realized how dangerous driving is, your voice would be like this the whole time and you would never go on the highway. So, we have a unique genius ability to selectively pay attention to remember what we want. Mm-hmm. Can you understand that play parties, as William Winter says, who's a play party organizer in Oakland, California?
That is great.
They are high possibility events.
Low expectation.
Low expectation events. So high possibility. All kinds of cool things could happen, but come with them with low expectations.
Yeah, if I go and if I don't sleep with 3 people, then my night is ruined. My night's probably going to be ruined. Partly because just approaching people with an agenda is not sexy.
Yeah, and being prone to a certain kind of disappointment, not sexy, especially if all the people there are really kind. Yeah, and are like, oh, I'm so sorry I hurt you. And now they're having feelings that you're having feelings. But you can understand, hey, I would really like to play with you, and I'm noticing that I might feel disappointed, but I can handle it. But again, I still am curious what playing would look like for you. Which again, that kind of engagement, most people are like, oh my God, like that's social suicide. Yeah. You're being so weird. And you're telling them exactly what's going on in your head. I think that that's a better strategy than trying to wait for the right moment where everything's perfect for you and them. And that's why, for me, welcome circle, like group check-ins at the beginning and ice-breaking exercises, those kinds of formats for play parties tend to work really well for everybody.
So if you're in a space where maybe you haven't been to a play party before, or not very many, or you're in a space where you don't want to play, which we all have nights like that. I've gone to play parties where I knew I didn't want to play. I just wanted to hang out with the cool people and be in a really fun, safe, sex-positive space. I've either talked to the organizer ahead of time and said, hey, this is the space I'm in. Is that going to be cool with people? Or when we do the welcome circle, when there's a welcome circle, I'll just say, hey, I'm really delighted to be here. I'm not gonna play. I might be in the mood to be lube fairy, like run, hand stuff to people that need.
Somebody needs a condom. You're there with a condom.
Yeah, here's the condom.
Yeah.
But I'm upfront with it. And sometimes when I give myself permission to be there, my mood may change, and I can say, hey, I changed my mind. Would you like to do something? But just know that you should never have to play party if you don't want to. And if you're not sure, check with the organizer. If they say yes, you must play, then I would really consider about whether you want to go to that play party or not. Because for me, that doesn't let us be who we are, and I want to have sex with people who really want to be with me.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like at a certain level of understanding yourself and understanding what play means, you might feel okay going to a participation as mandatory event.
If it was with certain people
or because you know yourself and you're like, oh, well, I have so many crayons in my crayon box that if somebody's like, well, you have to participate, I'm like, well, here are 5 or 4 ways that I can participate and feel engaging with people that are good for me.
Yeah.
Whatever those are. And there's lots of crayons in the crayon box of whatever. Like you can flog people, or I'll be the spanking fairy, or whatever.
I'll hold your Itachi for you.
Whatever that is. But for somebody who's a beginner, that is bad party to go to, I would think. And certainly for somebody who's a black belt, who's adept at going to play parties, you still might not want to go to parties like that because you don't like events like that. I mean, I have people who hate welcome circle oriented play parties because they're like, oh my God, it takes forever to have the conversation. And I'm like, great, don't come to my parties because this is how I like to have them. Mm-hmm. This is a free country. Last time I checked.
Go to readaboutsex.com/play parties, and they can figure out how to throw
and
you
can get resources for play parties and things like that. So again, I think voyeurism is participation is a really good rule for parties in general. Other people have different opinions. I'm very snobby about that rule, so I will feel inside that you are wrong if you make it mandatory. But test drive it. See what works for you.
We'd love to know what you think. Leave comments below.
You're wrong. Very opinionated. Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're going to go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like